Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Incoming here on the Psychosin project on YouTube. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new upcoming album by 6 Feet Under called Crypt of the Devil. This album's been released on the 5th of May. Now some of you may not know who 6 Feet Under. Well, as usual, let me tell you. 6 Feet Under were founded in 1993 by Chris Barnes as a side project while he was still with Cannibal Corpse. However, after Corpse let him go, it has become a full-time concern, and the band regularly makes groovy and catchy death metal albums. Today, I'm going to be reviewing their upcoming new album, Crypt of the Devil, which is released on the 5th of May through Metal Blade Records. The band currently consists of Chris Barnes on vocals, Steve Swanson on guitar, Jeff Hewell on bass, and Marco Petrozella on drums. The first track is called Gruesome. Now this starts with a nice heavy mid-paced groovy riff. The vocals then come in sounding more brutal than they have for a while. We break down to a single guitar and vocals, then pounding drums and into fast blast beats and another nice groovy riff. Halfway through we go into an awesome guitar solo, then back into the deathly groove riff from the start of the song. The song ends with that riff and the repetition of the song title, and then a fade out. Up next is Open Coffin Orgy, surely a title that will see them in the charts everywhere. Anyway, this starts with a single guitar playing the riff, then the drums and rest of band join going to another awesome different chuggy riff. We break down to nothing, then bass comes in joined by occasional guitar and then the vocals over the top. Pounding drums take us into a mid-paced groove with Chris Barnes' awesome deep vocals over the top. A small drum break then takes us into a faster riff for the chorus. A fast technical guitar riff then comes in to add variety to the song and vary up the groove until a scream and an almost obituary style guitar comes in for the guitar solo. We then return to the slow groove from before. For the end of the song we're back to the mid-paced riff from the beginning, which then ends the song suddenly. Up next is a song delightfully called Broken Bottle Rape. Now this starts with a single guitar playing the riff and backed up by drums. Then the whole band kicks in at mid-pace. The pace then picks up as the vocals come in. Halfway through we get a fast guitar solo coming over the top of the mid-pace riff. As we reach the final minute the riff starts to gain in intensity, along with the low growling vocals adding to the overall dirty sound of the song. The song then comes to a sudden end. Up next is one to delight all Christians and religious people. It's called Break the Cross in Half. Now this starts with a nice slow obituary styled riff. The vocals then come in over the top, adding to the slow intense pace of the song. A single guitar then plays a different faster riff while occasional guitar and drums blast, and the whole band ups the pace of the song for the chorus. Alternating between the full band and a single guitar parts then play until the whole band starts to play the mid-pace riff again. We then return to the slow riff from the start of the song. The guitar then comes in playing a fast solo. After the solo, we're back to the fast-paced riff and back to the chorus again. The song then ends with the alternating between the full band and a single guitar, which takes us through to a sudden ending after a scream from the one and only Chris Barnes. Halfway through the album and we come to a song called Lost Remains. Now this starts at fast pace with the whole band blasting the riff out. Then the vocals come in over an almost thrashy style riff. We then slow down for the chorus into a groovy doom styled riff. We then go into a nice chuggy mid-paced groove, varying up the song perfectly. A guitar solo then comes in over that mid-paced riff. We return to that riff from before with Chris growling over the top and a stop-start riff with some atmospheric sounds in the background. The song ends with the start of the song being repeated over and over on top of a groovy slow riff. Up next is Slit Wrists. Now this starts with pounding drum and a slow groovy riff. The riff then speeds up to a thrashy tempo with pounding drums and bass along with the deep death metal vocals over the top. We then return to a mid-paced groove. A breakdown to just a single guitar takes us through to a slower riff for the chorus. This leads us into a fast-paced thrashy riff with a guitar solo. We break that back down to the slow riff from the start of the song, which takes us through to another sudden ending. Up next is possibly one of the least sort of inventive death metal titles since Cannibal Corpse released an album called Kill. This one's called Stab. Now this starts at full speed with a thrashy riff and pace with some blast beats in there for good measure. The vocals then come in at the same pace with the guitar and drums. Definitely a real pit starter of a song. A chaotic riff then takes us through to the middle 8 with a stop-start groovy mid-paced riff. A slow doomy riff then comes in again, reminding me of Obituary. The riff then speeds up, and takes us through to a fast guitar solo, which takes us through to the end of the song, where again we have another sudden ending. Up next is The Night Bleeds. Now this starts with a very Cannibal Corpse-esque riff. Then a single guitar plays a riff, while occasionally a second guitar and bass. Then the whole band starts playing the mid-paced heavy as fuck riff. The second guitar then starts playing a lead melody and solo. We then go into the main mid-paced riff with the vocals over the top. The guitars follow the vocal melody, then we have a stop-start riff come in. A drum roll then takes us into a faster, thrashier riff. We then break down to just vocals and a single guitar. A drum roll and the whole band comes crashing back in. Blast beats and the fast guitar riff then takes us to a mid-paced riff again, and the vocals which takes us through to the end of the song, again coming to a sudden end. The penultimate song on the album is called Compulsion To Brutalize. Now this starts with a bass line and stop-start riff and drum beat until we go into a mid-paced blast beat. The vocals then come in over the top of a chuggy stop-start riff. As the song goes on, the pace of the riff starts to increase. Then we get to the chorus where a chaotic melody starts being played over the top. A slow riff then comes in as Chris growling like a madman over the top. This leads to a guitar solo. The song then ups the intensity with the riff, then drops back down to the mid-paced guitar, giving a sinister feeling to the song. Then the song fades out to the end. The last song on the album is called Eternal Darkness. Now this starts with a stop-start riff and then the drums start pounding along with a bass line. At 20 seconds the main riff starts proper, sounding like razor wire cutting through flesh, exactly the sound you want from your death metal bands. The vocals then join the chaos. Pounding drums and a stop-start riff then come in for the chorus, which leads to a guitar solo. We return to that stop-start riff from before, then go to a single guitar playing a faster riff until the entire band comes in except for the vocals. The vocals eventually rejoin and that leads us through to another guitar solo. We return to a chuggy mid-paced riff which then goes into a stop-start riff with occasional bass notes popping out from the riff. Excellent production on that part. The vocals rejoin and take us through to the end of the song and indeed the album with yet another sudden ending. So overall, what do I think of it? Well, I am a fan of 6 Feet Under. Although this album isn't quite as catchy or as good as America the Brutal from years and years ago, still a very good album indeed. Definitely well worth getting there. Over the years, 6 Feet Under have become one of the masters of the groovy riff and the groove sort of death metal, groovy death metal, that used to be typical of death metal back in the 80s and early 90s, and it's definitely a kind of death metal I love. Anyway, definitely go check it out. I'll give it 4 out of 5 stars. Anyway, feel free to support the show. The Patreon address is about there, roughly. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.